Hello guys, the GB Grinder here, back at it again with another video, and this time we have Sean Killian versus GT2RV, and this is going to be a $15 money match. Also, if you want to play for money yourself, go ahead and check out the Coliseum Discord, link down below in the description, and then we will see Sean Killian win the rock, paper, scissors shoot and decide to go first. 40 versus 40, gotta love to see it. Opening hands, we have Bonfire, Sword, Nib, Tract, and Talons. Very, very, very strong going first hand. Hopefully, hopefully they don't have Fua though. Then they have Nib, TB11, GWC06, Terraforming, and Ash Blossom. So we will go main phase, and then start off with the Fiendsmith Tract, which we Ash Blossom. Okay, I guess in case if they have Engraver in hand, because we could have let them go like add Lurie, discard Lurie, summon Lurie, Requiem effect, Ash it. And the only way that we really get hurt there is if they have like Engraver hand effect. Or I guess normal summon Lacrima, dump Engraver. I guess normal summon dump Engraver would be like the best thing there. Talents, look at hand, go ahead and rip the Nib. And then that's basically just game over. Bonfire, go search Ice, because now we get the full combo. Plus just Detonator probably wins us the game here anyways. But then we have like a whole board next to it. So make Exceton Knight, make Requiem effect in the Lacrima, dump Engraver, Requiem effect to equip, shuffle back Exceton Knight, summon out the Engraver, make a Necro equip Princess, overlay to make DDD wave High King Caesar, special sword effect goes search, grab out the X Ryzeal from the decks of the hand, and then dump Mirror Logic, special summon out X, go in the duo drive. Okay, so we're gonna dump Mirror Logic here instead of dumping like Twins of the Eclipse. Effect to attach, and then effect to detach and go search, grab out the Ice Ryzeal and the Ryzeal Cross, and then activate Cross, effect to go put back and draw into Ash Blossom, special node, which honestly Ash Blossom also makes it to where they don't even have a playable hand, but I guess so does Cross, and so does DDD. So node, discard, special back out, go in the Detonator. Okay, so I guess this makes it to where like if they draw like, I don't even know, like Ultimate Slayer, Metaltronus we already beat it. But I guess maybe we were already committed into this setup by the time we drew in the Ash Blossom for Metaltronus, but we have DDD to stop it. So they'd have to target DDD. They draw Metaltronus for turn. Yeah, a lot of people have been main decking this in Maliss recently. Even in this deck, they've been main decking it. Terraforming, go ahead, search out Maliss and Underground, and then they just go ahead and admit defeat. Okay, on to the next game. We'll go ahead and see Maliss go first. We have Engraver, Lurie, Node, Imperm, and Meows. They have Druisworm, Crossout, Druisworm, Impulse, and TB11. You know, honestly, now that I think about it, maybe there was an argument for Maliss to admit defeat game 1 when the opponent activated Talents to look at hand, because it reveals what deck you're on, so now you have to play against Lancia and stuff. And also, like, odds are, if your opponent's activating Talents to look at hand, and you only have one hand trap and they rip it, and your hand isn't that strong, like, there's a pretty good chance that you just lose, right? So maybe they should just submit a defeat when they had the chance. Oh, and they also bricked this game. They have Druisworm, Crossout, Druisworm, Impulse, TB11. So go main phase. And then set TB11 pass. They draw X Ryzeal. Then they're going to go activate Engraver. Go ahead, grab out Tract. And yeah, Crossout doesn't really match up with any of their engine. So they just keep it in hand. Tract, add Engraver, discard Lurie effect, special summon itself out. They could have also set the Dominus Impulse, which makes it a lot stronger into a Fiendsmith start. But they decided not to. And then Requiem effect, like Dominus Impulse is actually stronger going first than it is going second in this deck, because you can set it and use it when they don't have a card on field. You can stop Requiem a lot more often when you go first. So summon Lacrima, no Lacrima effect. They sided out the Fiendsmith trap, and they may have also sided down to 2 Engraver, based on them not activating the effect to dump. Now they're going to go Requiem effect to equip. Then normal summon out X effect, go ahead search out the Sword Ryzeal, and then overlay into a duo drive effect to detach and go search, grab out Ryzeal Cross, and grab out Ice Ryzeal. So at this point, you probably have a decent read that the set card is something like one of the Maliss traps, right? What else would it even be at this point? I guess it could be cross out. I guess like one of these. I'm trying to think about what else it would really be at this point. I feel like there's another card and I'm drawing a blank on it. Engraver, shuffle back to special summon out, but I mean, you know it's not imperm. You know it's nothing like that, otherwise it'd stop duo for sure. No, it's not strike. Jerusalem banish, special summon out. And then special summon out sword. Sword effect goes search. Grab out X Ryzeal from the deck to the hand. And then on res TB11 to summon out Dormouse. Okay. Does it on res. Dump Mirror Logic, special summon out X, activate Cross, overlay to summon Detonator. Detonator effect to attach Mirror Logic, special node. Node effect, send Duo Drive, they go ahead and Dominus Impulse that. Okay. So I guess maybe that's why they did it before. They could have still waited though. But it's like fine. It's like fine. Now they can go ahead and destroy the node with the Dominus Impulse. Thinking in response to the Dominus Impulse if we want to chain Detonator. But we said, nope, that's fine. And then activate the Ryzeal Cross effect to now go ahead and put back and then draw into a Lancia. Pretty good. The opponent does have cross out for it though. Discard Engraver, special summon out Ice. That way they can beat over both. So beat over, Jerusalem effect, and then cross to negate. Set imperm pass. But even though they have cross out to beat the Lancia, like we still have a pretty decent setup here. We have Detonator with Mirror Logic under it, cross up, imperm set. The Lacrima doesn't have the Fiendsmith trap in deck, so that's not an interruption. They draw a White Rabbit, okay, and they do draw a good card there. And they also have Jerusalem on Dormouse, so I mean they do have a pretty good amount of stuff here. Now they're gonna go normal White Rabbit effect, and then thinking in response, we're gonna go ahead and imperm that. And I was gonna say if they cross out that, then that's just game over because we'll have Lancia to win. So now they're gonna go Jerusalem effect, target Dormouse, then chain Lancia. Maybe they should have chained Jerusalem in response to imperm. Because then if they chain Lancia, I guess you can't even cross out Lancia though, right? Because then they just cross negate Jerusalem and that's game. So then you have to cross out imperm so that way you can set one from deck. But then you still just lose anyways. Yeah. Cross negate and then yeah, GG. Okay, offers rematch. So now, time for a run back. We see Sean Killian up $15, and they win the rock, paper, scissors, shoot, and decide to go first. We have Engraver, X, Veiler, Ice, Cross. They have Maliss and Underground, Ash Blossom, Gold Sark, White Rabbit, and Ash Blossom. So, go main phase. Activate Engraver effect. Go ahead, search out Fiendsmith Tract. Activate Tract. And then they said, think on this. And they said, okay, which I mean, it would have made more sense to Ash it this time around than they did last time around. Go ahead, because now they have Engraver engraved. But, okay, go ahead, go summon out Lurie, go in the Requiem, and then Requiem effect, Tribute Go special, okay, bring out Lacrima effect, dump Engraver. They're going to be so sick when they show them the Ryzeal Cross. And then normal Ice, yeah, you definitely can't stop that. They have Duo Drive already. Summon out X effect goes search, grab out sword, but I guess that does stop them from making DDD if they make duo with what's on field. Activate cross, overlay in the duo, and then duo effect. I'm not too sure why we activated cross. I guess it helps against Ghost Ogre because you get to keep the body at least. Okay. Engraver, shuffle back, special summon out. Like, that's like something, right? That's something. Then make Necro equip, which we could have done before we went in the duo. Because then if duo gets hand trapped by Ash, Veiler, then at least we draw one. So I feel like this has been ordered really weird by Sean. Go in the DDD, special out sword effect goes search. Go ahead, grab out the X Ryzeal. And then dump Mirror Logic, special out X Ryzeal, overlay into Detonator, effect to attach, pass, they draw Nib for turn, and then activate Gold Sark, go ahead, banish the cat, and then activate the cat effect to summon back out, and then we say, okay, that's fine, cat effect to go banish and draw. So I guess we don't want to cross negate it to play around Talons. Or just D negate it. Okay, so now they're gonna go cat affect the draw, and then we stop it. Really? We let it get on field first? That's interesting. So cross to negate, and then normal out white rabbit effect. They go ahead and pop it, and then chain Veiler, and then Lacrima into Requiem, and then Requiem effect. They Ash Blossom it, and then chain Detonator to pop the cat. Then they go activate field spell. We pop that. So these hands are rough right now. I mean, if they went first, that was just game. So on to the next game. We have Veiler, Nib, Lancia, Ice, Bonfire. Okay, they have Dormouse, White Rabbit, Allure. Oh, wow, they are so sick. Oh, nah. They drew the Lancia, then they drew the Lancia and the cross out, and there's no way you have multiple Lancia in your deck right now. Oh, nah. They're so sick. They're so sick. Drop Lancia. I said this isn't real. Oh, nah. And they just admit defeat. Bro, the one target said, I'm dying. Nah. Wanna run more? Are you good for now? Said, you can run more. Oh my gosh, that is crazy. I would be so sick. I'd be so sick. I mean, I've had it happen before. I feel like everyone's had it happen before with their cross out and their one-ofs. But, like, that is, like, a really important one-of. Like, a really, really important one-of. To not draw with the cross out when they draw. But, okay, Maliss wins the rock, paper, scissors shoot this time around. We have Track, Paradise, Ash Blossom, Ice, Sword. They have White Rabbit, Dormouse, Allure, Nib, and Druisworm. Okay, yeah, like, they win this game. So activate Allure, Darkness. They Ash Blossom it. Normal Dormouse, which, yeah, just Ash Blossom the Allure and just pray. But Dormouse is going to banish the cat, and then cat effect, pay to go ahead and summon itself out. And then cat effect to banish and draw. Draw on the Druisworm Nib. Wow, that's unfortunate for them, but it doesn't even matter. The game's just over. Summon out White Rabbit effect. Go ahead, set the GWC06. Okay, so now we can actually see like what kind of end board they're trying to make. Make Link Decoder, link all three off into White Binder, and then Link Decoder effect to summon itself out, and then White Binder effect to set the TB11 from the deck. TB11, banish, summon out White Rabbit, and then White Binder, pay 900, special summon out, and then draw into the cat. Okay. That's a little bit of an interesting way to play it. Maybe we could have just like, I guess we've already gone through, because we've only gone through 2 of our effects. We've only gone through 2 of them, so we could have banished the last one, summon it out. Not done that yet. Make an SP. SP banish draw. I feel like this just could have been done differently for sure. Make Heart Cryptor. GWCO6. Banish special back out. Gain the life points. And then Binder Cryptor. So go ahead, banish, and special summon out. Then Dormouse summon itself out. That's fine. Then go ahead, link off to summon Nightmare Griffin. Nightmare Griffin, discard to reset GWCO6 and draw into a shifter. That's also not a good draw, but again, at this point, it doesn't even matter. We can also just discard that too because we're about to make the Obawa, and then Obawa effect. Special summon back out the Nightmare Griffin, and then end phase, get this back. Yup. Yeah, it's like really good too when you get like all these draws in your turn. You get White Binder on your turn. You get Nightmare Griffin draw on your turn. You get Cat draw on your turn. Could have gotten Allure too, so that could have been draw 6 on our turn, and then draw 1 on the opponent's turn off of the White Binder. That's like infinite draws, right? Like you are definitely drawing non-engine if you draw 7 cards. They draw Imperm. Activate Imperm on the Nightmare Griffin. Sure, unfortunate that they drew that. There's also like other ways to out it too. It's not like Nightmare Griffin's like the end of the world. Like even X Ryzeal can dump Mirror Logic to out this. Then activate GWCO6, summon out White Binder, gain 23. And then they add Engraver, discard Engraver. Then White Binder effect, banish the Engraver, White Rabbit, and Cryptor. And then New Chain Link, activate the effects, special summon themselves out by going ahead and paying 12. Then White Rabbit effect to go ahead and set the MTP07 directly from the deck, and then normal out ice effect goes special, chain MTP07, which will banish the ice. Okay, we'll search, banish, and then they summon out X from deck. X effect goes search, Heart Cryptor effect. I don't know why they're banishing so quick. I feel like you could have let them at least search first. But I guess like it doesn't even matter. It's just game over. Okay. Yeah, and they had the Abawa effect to go ahead and pop also. Then we have Tract, Lancia, Node, Ice, Nib. They have Shifter, Allure, Jerusalem, GWC06, and Gold Sark. So their hand is pretty bad into Lancia. Activate Tract, Chain Shifter. Yeah, just go ahead, banish Engraver, normal ice effect, go bring out X effect, go search, grab out Sword Ryzeal. And then special out sword effect, go search ice. And also, like, just having, like, a detonator like this is pretty good. Yeah, we also summon it in defense because we're going to Lancia our opponent. So if they do have Druid Worm, we don't want them to be able to attack into this because this will go to the graveyard. So it'll out the detonator. They draw for turn. Drop Lancia. They said GWC06. Pass. Draw Bonfire. The normal ice. We shouldn't have even set this, right? It'll just get popped. Normal ice effect. Go ahead. Special out X. X effect. Go search. Grab out Sword Ryzeal. And then drop Droll and Lockbird. Detonator to pop. Yeah, we just let that get popped for free. And then switch to attack. Special summon out Sword. Sword effect goes search. Grab out the Ice Ryzeal. And then they said Droll and Lockbird. They said my bad, no problem. So special summon and then try to go for a game. So is that game 81? So try to attack for a game. And then they do have Jerusalem. So take 500, take 14. Take 15. And then I was going to say drop this on the 17. But they dropped it now. Sure. So now they'll go ahead, summon out. And then detonator beat over. And then Jerusalem effect goes send the detonator. And then take 17. So they could have saved a little bit of life points there. Then main phase 2, overlay into detonator, effect to attach, and then overlay into Twins of the Eclipse, or Eclipse Twins, which doesn't do anything right now. I guess, was there even a point of making this? I guess if they hit you with Nib, then you get to summon back out detonator. So I think that's what they're trying to do, maybe hedge around that a little bit. Draw called by. But also, if you get hit with Nib, that is tough. Because your detonator will only have one material underneath of it, and it won't be able to attach because you already used the effect that turn. So the Nib will be able to, crash into it and out the material. They draw Gold Sark, and then set Gold Sark, activate Allure. And then they go ahead and pop the Gold Sark. I feel like... Okay, they have to have like talents, maybe thrust in deck, right? Draw, banish, like who would have had Metal Tron plus Gold Sark plus called by for a hand trap? Oh my gosh, that player just actually threw multiple cards in the detonator that game for free. On to the next game, we have Nib, Valor, Imperm, Engraver, Fua. They have Shifter, Cat, Jerusalem, Strike, Impulse. Okay. We do have a real game here. Both players only drawing one engine card, but Jerusalem is like, it's like basically an engine card in Maliss. As long as you have Maliss stuff, the Bastiles are engine. Like, they're like good extenders, very good extenders for the deck. Normal summon Cat, go in the Link Decoder, activate Jerusalem, banish, special summon out, and then activate Cat effect, pay 300, special summon out. And then they drop Fua. They said thinking here. We'll go ahead and link all of these off into a white binder. White binder, chain link 1, link decoder, chain link 2. White binder, target Fua, Jerusalem, Cat. And then they're hoping that this doesn't get stopped so that way they can drop Shifter. Yeah, and they said that's fine. White binder effect is set. They said think on res. Go ahead, try to drop Nib. And then change Shifter. So those will get banished, and then go ahead, pass over the token, and then activate White Binder, pay 900, special summon out, and then draw into another Solemn Strike. Okay, then White Binder effect to go set the GWC06, link off into a Firewall. They draw into X Ryzeal, set Strike, pass. Okay, Maybe there was a world. I guess if you set this, then the opponent, like, the odds of you having follow-up is a lot less. But also the impulse in hand can technically conflict here if we have to activate this early, because then we can't firewall dragon effect. But I guess we won't need to activate it, right? Because we have our opponent under shifter. But maybe we also set this that way if our opponent has nib next turn, we don't have to be afraid of it at all. We could just like Dominus Impulse to negate it. Then they go Battle Phase, GWCO6, summon out the White Binder, and then Gang 23. We just go Effect to Bounce. Sure, maybe we should have also White Binder, banish the shifter. Could make our opponent scared of another shifter. This card doesn't really serve a purpose in the graveyard right now. I'm gonna say, because like this is only once while it's face up on the field, so we can't like bounce back shifter next turn or anything. Normal ice effect, they go ahead and Solemn Strike that. And then, yeah, they can't summon X, they can't summon Sword, they can't summon Node, none of the Fiendsmith stuff works. So now it's just non-engine. They draw TB11 for turn. And then go main phase, White Binder effect to set. They go ahead and imperm that. Yeah, then they set TB11, activate it. Could have set this first. Then banish, special summon out Dormouse, and if they had impermed it, they could have chained and then still had resolved the set. Now we're going to go White Binder effect, special summon out, and then draw into a MTP07. Set the MTP07, which would have also changed our draw too, because we would have set that from the deck and then drawn a different card. Now, said my bad, trying to find game, activate MTP, go ahead, search out White Rabbit. Okay, so we're also on summon 2 right now. Then Dormouse effect, summon itself out as summon 3. Effect to go ahead and banish. And then they're thinking on this. So I could definitely see why you would want to stop this. Yeah, and they do go ahead and stop it, because otherwise they're going to gang attack, and they get the extra body. So what, that brings out Cat, and then, like, just base attacks is 4,000, and then 31, and then 600 on each is already game. So now they just go Battle Phase to go ahead and swing. Wow. This game was, like, unlosable, and I think they found a way to potentially lose it. Make Cryptor, go to end phase, pass to draw Veiler. Still not setting the Dominus Impulse, by the way. Why don't people want to set this card? Like, what are you scared of? Are you scared of Harpies? That's not real. That's not real. That card is not real. Better have it. Better have it. And they'd have to draw for a turn, because they would have used it last turn. Better have it, right? Like, you can actually use Dominus Impulse to stop the Fiendsmith stuff early on if it's set. I feel like they should have learned their mistake already from match 1. Tell you what, I was winning this game 100% of the time. There's no way you don't win this game. If you draw Shifter going first with double Solemn Strike, a Bestial, a Maliss card, and you get the combo, there's no way you lose. There's actually no way. Activate Engraver, they go ahead and strike that. Okay, just really trying to cut them off the Fiendsmith cards, even though we don't really have, like, we don't have a good idea of what's in their hand. We really don't. Because last turn they were under shifters, so they could have 4 more engine cards at this point. We have no idea. Now, Sean Killian will think here for a second. Dump Mirror Logic, special out X. X1 Mirror Logic 2, and they have to chain Cryptor because they don't have a way to put a body on board later. Otherwise, this will just be negated. So they actually put back 2. Okay, I put back the Trap, banish the X. Go ahead, search out Sword Ryzeal, activate Bonfire to go ahead and grab out the Ice Ryzeal, because otherwise they have to normal summon Sword because they don't have a Ryzeal card in rotation. Then they're going to go normal Ice effect, they're going to Dominus Impulse it, and there's a Trap engraved, so it will be destroyed. Then special Sword effect goes search, grab out Ice Ryzeal, and now we can special summon out the Ice Ryzeal by pitching the copy of Nib. Our opponent also played around this last turn, so odds of them to continue to play around it is still very high. Then we have the Veiler in hand, which is pretty good, and also if they hand trap Duo with, like, I guess they can't even Veiler it, right? If they Ash the Duo, I guess, at this point, which I don't think they'd have because they would have stopped Fiendsmith with Ash. Yeah, they just go ahead and admit defeat. I got to go, you got this. Wait, am I tripping? Okay, no, this was game 3. They said I gotta go? What? It's not I gotta go. It's, oh, I've lost. This game is over. I'm out of there. I'm gone. Like, oh my gosh. Wow, that was crazy. Yeah, so they lost $45 there. I actually can't believe they lost that game. That was actually, I'm not gonna lie, that was kind of impressive. That was kind of impressive on how they lost that game. I think Sean Killian, like, played it fine that game too. I guess, like, I guess maybe since the opponent, like, try to banish, like, everything out of their graveyard, maybe you could have a read that they have Shifter. And because you could have a read that they have Shifter, because otherwise, why would they be banishing the Druisworm from their grave? Maybe because of that, we go ahead, and I forget what we had. I know we had Veiler Imperm at that point, though. And we could have used one of those on the White Binder to prevent the banishing. And then when they bring back Link Decoder, then we could drop Nib. I guess if they have another Bestial, we just get cooked. I don't know. I have to look over it again. But I feel like maybe we should have been able to read that they had Shifter based on how they played that. And if you get hit with Shifter when you're, like, when Maliss goes first, like, good luck on winning. It's so hard. It's so hard. Because you're under Shifter on their turn and your turn. And then the next turn, like, yeah, sure, your hand traps are live again. But hand traps are, like, you know, not that good against this deck. And if they can build a board while under Shifter, the game's just instantly over. But you can see how, like, you know, they had misplayed this game. And, like, I don't know why they played it the way they did. Like, they could have set Impulse to make it so that way they didn't have to be afraid of Nib at all. But they also had Strike sets. So, like, yeah, I think I should have talked about that more, too. Like, they had Strike sets. So, like, Nib itself wasn't impactful because they just negate it. So you just have to beat the low-impact hand traps. And I think your deck just beats the low-impact hand traps. We should have also set TB11 so that when we activated White Binder effect, if they try to Imperm Veiler it, then we can chain, still set from deck, then we would have drawn a different card. And, like, let's just say we would have drawn this card. Like, let's say we draw Called By, right? Just a random card in their deck. Then guess what? Now you're even more protected against hand traps. And you even have Called By for the follow-up for, like, Engraver to stop that instead of having to use your Strike. Like, there's so many different things that could have been done there. But Maliss is also a pretty complex deck overall. Like, playing it is definitely not the easiest thing ever. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. I think that they probably have learned some stuff from this match overall. Hopefully they didn't play the way they did this game just because they were on tilt about the first match or the second match where they were getting unlucky, while also losing dice rolls against, like, 4 engine card hands or, you know, Bonfire, Bonfire, Track, Talents, but also, to be fair, they also Ash Tracked when they didn't start with Engravers, so I think there were, like, a good amount of misplays, but hopefully they can learn from it, bounce back, come back, and try to take money from Sean Killian next time, and with that being said, the DB Grinder signing off. Peace, have a nice day, stay safe.